Okay, and I think that's start. So let's do AMA, which is ask me for anything today. So yeah, the first is that please hold your questions if you have any, like in the chat rooms yet, and I will go through the questions I've been collected on my tweet, and then I will, like, after that I will like reply with some, like, the message from the chat room. So yeah. So I think the second question is, okay, this project. So like for this project, I can show you a bit. This is a typewriter, and from some, like, you can take screenshots from the code you add, and then like the code will update your, like, each step and then replay it as a typewriter. So this one is actually like being written at my dreams from the Chinese community, and the repo is currently like available for my sponsor. You can see, I can show you a bit. So here, and under this one. So yeah, I don't have like much time to work on this one yet, but the code, if you are already a sponsor, you can see that inside of this repo, and maybe if you want to have a look, I can try to make it work. So for example, like I created a project called Fold.ts. So then I think this one, there's a plus here. So I can maybe import something like hello from, I think that's say, okay. For example, like you have this one, and then you add a new snapshot, and then hello here. Oh, I need to zoom out a bit, right? Hello here. So here you add it, and then you add another snapshot. So maybe you can then you can rename this one like this, and then add another screenshot. Okay, so this one, like, we add a few changes, and then like there's a, here is a, I mean, here is a, like the file being saved for this project called typewriter. This is the snapshots for the changes we have created, and then like you can play here as a play button. So when you play the play button, it will replace the changes you have written, and then yeah, you can see that. So it's basically like if you want to change this at the middle, so like you can have like this one, and then you save it, so that you can replay again. This will be changed to the new changes you have made. No, I guess there are some cache issues, but anyway, this is the basic the gist of this project. Oh, I maybe need to remove it. So, and yeah, so this one is not ready yet, and probably just because I don't have yet time to like polish it. But if you want to try, you can already try that if as a sponsor. So yeah, hopefully I will like get back to this project a bit later. So yeah, it will be the main goal is that I was preparing a course for VDES. So that's the thing I created. And for slide div, yeah, definitely, like, I would like to integrate it, so like you can use this in your presentation. So next question is, what's the future of Uno CSS? Is this suitable for production? And yeah, the answer is yes. So you can already use Uno CSS for productions, and we already removed the experimental state. And for the future of Uno CSS, I guess I'm kind of guys that I don't really have like big plans of the futures. So basically, like I will act as I go. So I don't have like really a clear path for Uno CSS in the future, but currently, like I kind of being satisfied with the feature set it has. So I'm really enjoying to use the HTTP5 mode and the icons process, so that you can use any icons from the open source, which is, yeah, I don't really know how to code without it. But anyway, if I get any news in terms of the features of NoxUI, I will tweet it. So yeah, I don't like to hide secrets, so you will see that in my tweet. So move to the next questions. Where do you think the front-end system is heading in near future? And what's the cool things you like to see that doesn't exist yet? Yeah, I guess again that's I don't really think much about the future. So yeah, probably I will think about it. So probably if there is something exists, there is something that don't exist and I need it, I probably like give a few try to implement it. So I think that's kind of like my weird projects from. Where my like the weird ideas of the projects from. So I also have like quite a few dead projects, and that's just kind of the experiments I have do. So like I'm kind of like feel totally fine with you implement a new project and then like that idea doesn't work, but that's also the thing that tell you, okay, this idea doesn't work, maybe you can try another way next time. Or like there's also you still learn something from your failed projects, or like the project the failed idea, I guess. Okay, yeah. And for the next questions, how can I become a backend engineer and what resource do I use? How do I learn? Yeah, I don't really have like enough knowledge to answer for backend, and I guess in terms of like how to learn it, how to learn things, I kind of prefer to like learn by doing. So as you want to like achieve something, you need to learn like how to do it right. So yeah, for example, like if I need to like do some like streaming, which I'm pretty bad about it. So I need to learn like how to use OBS, how to configure things, and how the streaming work. And yeah, I think that's kind of the thing. That's like, for example, like if I don't need to do some I don't need to do some like streaming, I don't really need to know this, and I don't have like enough interest to learning things, even though that's people telling, okay, this streaming is really cool, you should learn it, you should know how it works. But if I don't use it, I don't really have the motivations, or I don't have the enough incentive to work on things. So first thing is that you have to like get really interest on something you want to achieve, or like you want to learn. And I think that's kind of being the best way for me to learn things, is that I have a goal and I have some interest on this, and so then like learning becomes from a like really hard thing to become a like pleasant thing, to like you can just like learning by as playing, or like something like that. So yeah, that's kind of my way of learning things. Yeah, yeah. So like, I mean, that's for let's say that's learning never being a easy thing, right? So you need to get things into your mind. That's always being hard, but you can find some way to like turning a hard thing to be like a bit fun. So like you can have like a good mood to continue doing it, and also like you have a feedback loop to see, okay, you have learned something, and once you learn it, you can do something real to reflecting on your learning. So you learned TypeScript, you can use TypeScript inside your project. You learn something, you can use it. That's something, the feedback loop. That doesn't say that there's a way that you can take 1 day to become a very good engineer, and we just take step by step, and inside of each step you get the feedback of your learning. That would be the best way for me to like continue doing things. Okay, and do you have any recommendation for Vue 3 compatible UI framework? Yeah, actually, like I don't really use UI framework. Things like with Uno CSS, I kind of use it all the time. So like I will just write the components from scratch. But things like my idea is that if you use a framework libraries, your app will just being like the styles of their framework library, right? But like having atomic CSS, like writing your CSS yourself, it opens up the capability of like having different designs of your apps. But I totally understand that in some like scenarios you need to use a UI framework, and maybe the design of the apps doesn't really is not the priority, or like you don't need to like stand out from the others. So I don't really have a good recommendation for that. Things like I don't really use them that much. But if I have to say, I think there's a project called Naive UI. Let me search for it. This one is quite interesting. It's written by one of my friend, and I think that's pretty solid. And I think the components are tree shakeable, and you can use it as name export. But anyway, I'm not like really familiar with that topic, so yeah, probably just in recommendation you can have a look, but maybe you need to have more advice from otherwise otherwhere to make the best decision. And then next question, yeah, from Shini. What are some favorite places in your hometowns, and where did you travel yet in the world? Yeah, that's kind of being a sad story for me. So, and indeed, like I would like to get travels to different places, and kind of that's been my dream, that I would like to. Since like currently like I got the works in open source, and that's also been one of my dreams to like travel around the world while like walking along the way. So I guess currently like my job allows me to do this, but like currently like due to COVID and due to like some policies of my countries, I don't yet have the chance to like travel the world since I have graduated, the COVID doesn't like not yet like settled, so I don't have a chance to travel the world yet. But I will definitely try, and yeah. Probably like when I travel to like some countries, I will send a tweet. So like if you have been inside of that cities, or like we probably could meet. Yeah, I'm happy to meet you guys in person. And yeah, is the streaming all right so far? Okay. I guess it's fine. Okay, so yeah, let's continue. Yeah, what's the exciting tech that didn't reach wide adoption are you excited about? Seems like I'm not sure if I kind familiar with the tools adoption. Seems like I don't really care that much about the numbers, but I'm still like really happy to like have some tools that people are kind of using, enjoying. So yeah, probably I don't know how to define that doesn't reach well adoptions. Probably I would like to say Vite, since like compared to Webpack, the Vite adoption is still inside a small percentage, but I guess there's like a lot of people already know it. So yeah, I'm kind of being excited about the Vite and its ecosystem, and what's the idea, what's the new ideas or like create from this foundations. Things like Vite introduced a a thing that's called on demand, and all the modules being on demand, and we have different mode or different strategies for dev and build to like maximize the developer experience and also user experience for at the same stage, I think. Things like for example, like for Webpack, it used the bundles, which is for the productions and then back to the dev. While that's Vite still use bundles in build, but we have like the on-demand ESM for development. This kind of having this might kind of introduce some like misalignment, but the great game is that you don't need to pay the cost in productions in your development. While that you could like develop the apps in a very good feedback loop, and which does not satisfies the things in productions. Okay. Yeah. Next questions. Why don't you make videos on what you have built? And it would be great to learn from developer itself to how it was built, and what are folders and what are the intentions. Yeah, that's something I kind of like to do, and probably I'm doing it step by step right now. So I already have a few projects. You can see my like Billy channel. I'll just show you. So here, and things like I was not very confident about like my oral or my English, so I started doing some like live streamings in Chinese. So here let's we implement a feature that's autocomplete for Uno CSS in a live stream, and I implement the import meta globe Vite plugins also in stream, and the typewriter I just showed you, and I also like made the auto import for view templates in this one, and then the view startboards, which into 2 sections, something like this. And yeah, probably I would try to do more things, but yeah, I guess probably you are referring to the introduction videos, right? I guess for introduction videos, that could take quite a lot of effort to make it great, and which I don't really have like enough time to work on videos, but I will try probably next time. But yeah, anyway, yeah, okay, yeah, probably I will try to do more, and probably like if you are like me to like do some like streaming about like talking about one project, and that's why I'm building this, or like how to use it. Yeah, I probably could do that in the future. And what are you working on at Nox? So yeah, and I think my job in Nox that are quite open, I think. So mainly like I'm kind of part of the responsibility to like maintaining NoxUI a little bit, to like triaging some issues or like fixing some bugs related to my my part, I think. And also I was like implementing the Vite integration for Nox, and also currently like for also like for unplugins and for auto imports, something like this one. And also I'm also like doing some UI work, and talking it wildly, maintaining some like open source projects that are my own is also part of my jobs as Nox. Or you can say that's Nox being my biggest sponsor to supporting my works. For example, for view use, or like for Uno CSS, or for a few Vite integrations, or like for the works on Vite itself is also part of the job. Yeah, which I'm like being really lucky about this, and really enjoying working on Nox as a team and as a open source. Okay, and yeah, probably have answered your questions. And moving to next. What do you like and dislike most about the current state of the front-end tech? I don't really have like strong dislike, to be frank, but yeah, probably Safari. Yeah, but like the thing I kind of enjoying is that I think we have a like really strong communities that for the front end that people are kind trying different like crazy ideas and pushing also the apps and also the build tools forward. Things like there's quite some complexities in front end, and yeah, I think I'm like really happy to see that one new tools that created being like a few years. Like once we had Webpack, once we had some like crazy cool tools, and then like now we kind of iterate the ideas into Vite, and also yeah, probably there are some like new after that that I'm kind of really excited about. So yeah, I just kind of really like the front end, or like the web in general. I think it opens like a lot of possibilities, and also and also the APIs of the browsers and the JavaScript and the TypeScript is also like evolving each year, and tools are getting better and better each year, which is yeah really great. And which aspect of the future of web most excites you? If I have to name one, I guess it's for the transaction API. Not sure if you web is that? Oh yeah, this one. And you probably could read that if you haven't. It's basically like adding some like native like transaction support across pages for web, which is like crazy, which is the crazy idea. So that's kind of being the why I create Starport for Vue Starport at the beginning. So that's basically like I would like to do some transactions across pages. So this approach is that it will be quite complex, but like if that we could get a native API support, I could like totally deprecate this project, and then like it'll gain more performance and have more less carbon yet to work on it. Yeah, which I'm really looking forward to it to see it being opt out from experimental and to ship it in the major browser. And okay, and to here, let's go next. So about design system and advanced front-end engineer. Yeah, for design system, I don't really, yeah, I'm not a designer, so I'm just an engineer that's like liking to do some design, but I'm totally like I'm totally a noob to design or like to about this part. So probably I cannot answer this one. And for advanced front-end engineer, I don't know, like how do you define advanced? I think there's no such thing called like advanced or not advanced, I think. Yeah. Yeah, probably I'm not sure. Not sure how to answer that. And I don't think I don't think myself as an advanced engineer as well. Just probably like just do your part and do the things that you kind of enjoying and do it well. I think that would be enough to be some like self achievement, I guess. Okay, and let's move to the next. What's your thoughts on different fields of web development, and what makes you go into front end? Will you consider going backend or cloud? Okay, yeah, I think the reason I kind of enjoying being front end, I think one of is that it's very visual. So talking about if it's being visual, is that for me it's about feedback loop. So let's say that if you take 2 hours of coding a thing, that's, I guess web is the most easier way to get something that's have a nice looking, right? So it has built-in rendering engines, and to have a like image or like having some visuals inside of a web page is really easy compared to the native approach, right? So I think that's the thing. I have talked about it a little bit before, is that I would like to see what I have done to get feedback or like get the feeling of achievement. So web is definitely the technology that's allowed me to do in a most easier way. And once I made a website, I could share it to others with the link. That's the thing. So compared to that, if you are building an app, I think it will take quite a lot of effort to make an UI, and then you need to compile it, to upload it into the app store or like the app market, I think. And then you need to like fill a lot of things, and to prepare a lot of things, you need to register a developer account and wait for the market or the store to like review your app until you can publish to for people to download, right? And for people to download, if you build an iOS app, you can now share it to the Android user. So there's the natural advantage of web is that it's being cross-platforms and you don't need to install anything, which also is about it's a bit about the feedback loop. You can get the feedback from your users or like from your friends about the things you have done, which give me the great motivation to like continue improving things or continue doing things. So the next question is, will you consider doing backend or cloud? Yeah, probably not. I think for the same reason, I really enjoy working on front end, so like I'll probably stick on it. And I guess my time doesn't allow me to work on backend or cloud. Seems like I already have a lot of work to do. So not sure. Probably it would change later. But I think for now, or like in a shorter period of time, I don't consider myself to do some like backend to cloud. If it was to build I guess this one is Vue, right? Vue component library on top of Uno CSS. Yeah, which I have already built one. It's called NoxUI, and I will show you. So here you go to the repo called Nox/UI, and inside the package there's a sub package called UI, which the components library looks like this one. All right, so the thing is that it's being super expressive, and also like being most of the build time. So for example, like if you want to have a red button, you can have N button, and then there's an attribute called NRed. And if you want to change the size, you can add XL. And if you want to change the colors, you can change that. Yeah, probably I need to do some demonstration. Let me do it quickly. Okay, so not sure if that would work. Okay, yeah, this works. So let me change it to here. So for example here, that's where is it? So inside of the playground here. which part is it? Okay, here. I think it's here, right? Okay, yeah, here is the buttons, and here there's the buttons like yellow, orange, and dash. There's the red, solid, disabled, purple. So here is the preview of the thing, and here is the code need to do it. So for example, like if you want to have a yellow one, you can just here you can change the color here. I can change the red here, and it becomes a red, right? I can change the style by adding solid. It will become solid, and then I can change the shade of the color 6, right? And I can change it to 8. It will be a really dark red. And if I want to have a dash border, I can have a dash here like this one. So, and note that this one is like completely compile time. This one, like changing this part of the code doesn't not really affecting on runtimes. So we don't have a like runtime to interpret this attribute. It's complete build times. So if you look at the codes inside of the N button here, that's the code for the entire button, and here is only for some like icons part, and the style is completely like build times, and then like you can take like for example like which is N equal to red, right? You can apply to the same here, the same conventions to other things. So like for example, like for the checkbox, I can also use an N red, which becomes a red checkbox. So it's basically like it's just being some like experimental things on top of the UNO CSS here. So the code or like the style will be generated by UNO CSS to render those components, and yeah, which is build time. Okay, yeah. If you kind of being interested in this project, you can go to the code. You can go to the project and to see the code, to play with the playgrounds, to have a look. So yeah, that's just the introduction here. So let's continue. Yeah. Or like, of course, like if you have any idea of like to do some like components libraries, sure, it's like totally feel free to do. And once you're done, you can ping me, and I'm kind of looking forward to it. And then let's go to next questions. How can I reach your level in JS? Yeah, I guess I have to say a thank you here, but I don't really think myself being a really good developer. But if you want to like learn something, I think, as I said, I would like to suggest you to take step by step, and you don't need to learn the exact same stack as me. So yeah, I would more encourage you to like learn something you really like or like you really want to use. So yeah, probably I cannot really answer your questions. What are things you wish someone built that you don't have time to build? And yeah, currently now, if I wish something, I probably like try to build one myself. But if I have to say that, I think that one before that, I do want someone to like implement a better Jest. At that time that Jest doesn't have like good ESM support, and we have like a lot of troubles using using Jest. So things like writing a testing framework would be a really hard thing to do, and there's a lot of quite complex ideas. You need to have snapshots. You need to run the test in multiple threads, and you need to collect the results, and you need to have some code coverage, which at that time I'm considered this would be a too big project to me to like build one my own. So I was waiting for someone to build one, and I guess that will be a few for a few months, since like I kind of feel some pains when using Jest. So, but in the end, yeah, I think we still build one called Vides, which is on top of Vite to like solve the problems we had to have asynchronized transformations from Vite, and then like the Vides is now like using Vite as the engine, which like open up the more possibilities of that. Yeah, probably next time I will just add a wishlist tweet to say that if someone wants to build something. Okay, and probably next one. So you build so many repositories. Are you afraid some of them get off of your controls? Don't. Well, yeah, I'm kind of being like, I indeed kind of worried about that. I don't have really enough time to maintaining that much project, but yeah, I'm like really happy to see that there are some active contributors to like different projects, and we build teams for many projects. Like Vue.use, we have a team. For Vides, we have a team. And for SlideDiv, we also have a team. They are just from a very active contributors, and they would like to improve the tools, and they help me a lot to like maintaining those projects and to answer questions. So, and that's something that's kind lifting out of my effort to working on different projects. And I'm really like being grateful to the contributors, but I'm also like to say that there's indeed some projects that being inactive for like some experimental things, and I'm totally open to it, since like I just shared my code actually. So if I don't maintain it, or like if I don't use it, people could still use the code, right? They can fork it. But while I'm trying to be responsive for all the issues that's created, and yeah, I'm just thinking that if some projects that doesn't get enough attention, or like there's a no issues for a few months, that's also fine for your project to like get. That probably means that this project does not being important enough, or like people just don't like this idea, which is totally fine, and I just move on and to make more things, or like to try out more ideas. And even though that's maybe half of them, or like most of them are died, there are still some ideas that being recognized by people, and I would like to have more time to focus on the things that people use. So in terms of like how I'm maintaining things, is that I'm kind of being a bit like passive. I don't know how to describe that. For many projects, I don't really like working on them every day, but I read the notifications. If someone like made pull requests, I will respond to that. Oh yeah, I think that called responsive. So if there's no one's interacting with that project, I would just like leave it. So I would just reactive to the notifications for issues for pull requests, and if there is a few that pull requests that's getting into this project, and I will just review them in batch, and to say, okay, this one maybe there is a few bug fix, or like a few improvements that I made. I've just merged those issues, merge those pull requests, and then like making a new release. So it's basically like more a project that getting more involved, like getting more I think if one project get more involved from the communities, I will work more on them. So yeah, that's basically like how I decide what to work or what to prioritize. What's your favorite learning source? Yeah, Google, I think. Just search for what you need. And what do you mean by sending? Yeah, I would definitely like to record the. Yeah, I will record. I will send the record to YouTube. What are your thoughts on CSS in JS? Is the performance overhead of it a big deal? Yeah, I don't really use CSS in JS, so I don't really. Yeah, I don't think I'm like the good one to answer these issues. But for me, that's the performance overhead is indeed a big deal. So I think that's also the reason I don't use it. And I also like think CSS or like atomic CSS is already good enough to style your apps already. So yeah, I don't really see the value of CSS in JS, at least for me personally. Do you write PHP? No. What do you think of the current state of Vue compared to the newer frameworks like Svelte? Yeah, I think there is hard to do some like comparison to like different frameworks, and also like to say I don't really think that Svelte is newer than Vue. If you compare to the release, the first release date, indeed that's the Svelte is the newer or the younger framework. But compared to Vue, I think Vue is also like evolving from time to time. I think in Vue 3 there's a lot of new features introduced, and especially for the composition API, right? I think it's not fair to like compare the release date, but like compared to, I think you should compare to the React. Yeah, I don't know really comparing like framework, it will be like meaning. I think for me that's the why I'm kind of stacking on Vue. One of is that it got the really strong communities. Things like it's been there for a long time, and also I'm kind of really into the composition APIs, which allows you to writing your logics outside of your components and then reuse them or compose them, which I think in Svelte you need to have a bit different syntax inside of components and outside of components. Yeah, I'm not judging that if it's good or not, but just like I think it's for the personal performance preference. And for me, I'm kind of more into Vue. But yeah, I think if you need to like pick really a framework in your app or like in for your project, I think that's something that you need to like compare it. You need to like make the decisions based on what you need, which I cannot like provide enough. I cannot provide a like good solid recommendation for you. Things like different framework have different. They are completely different, so they have like different usage or like different strengths. So you need to pick one that fits your own. And what you excited most about the future Nux, Vite, and Vue 3? Yeah, that's yeah. I think this question is a bit too general. Yeah, I'm just excited about in general. I think. Yeah, for the futures, we will see. I think we will see as we go. So what does your typical days look like? Yeah, my day is pretty simple. Here is my top tab. So the view notification page, I'll just scan it. I will just like open it up every day and try to read the new incoming issues. And for example, like this two are being get closed, I will just like mark it. I will just remove them. And for example, like this one, I will just go into them and to review a bit. And if that looks good to me, I'll just say approval and then merge it and do some release. I think that's kind of being how I work for every day. And at some parts, when you review some like pull requests, maybe they can provide you, the committee could provide you some idea of like if something could be better, or like their implementation could inspire you to have a different idea of things. So when I kind of getting some ideas, I'll just like starting coding to like getting excited about something, and then like I will just coding them. I will just try them out. So basically, like my daily workflow is that to jumping between maintaining and to coding for some like ideas I would like to try, or like for some features I have to work on it. So yeah, and that's basically like I would do them in when I sit down and open my laptop. And after that, I will just do a normal days as, I guess, to like eat breakfast, eat lunch, and have some fun and sleep. Yeah, right. That's just my typical days. So I think for me, I'm just managing my works using GitHub notification. Right. Okay. Well, we got quite a lot of questions. Yeah. Why do you work on web stuff? I already answered that. And how do you balance all these works and your personal life? Yeah, I don't really consider that being balanced. Yeah. For me, that's I'm kind of really enjoying my works, or like I didn't really consider it as work for most of the time. So it's basically like for me that's coding, or like doing some writing some code is more like playing some games, you know. It's basically like once you get the feedback loop, like a continuous flow of your feedback loop. You made something, you get something, and you kind of being motivated by it to like continue doing something. It's basically like you play games and you kill a monster, you get the equipment, and then you get stronger, and then you move on to beat the stronger to beat the stronger monster, something like that. So this one is that for me that's I'm trying to like getting feedback on it. So like for me that's basically like working is being like having some entertainment. So yeah, that's just basically the same. That's when you want to play some games, you sit down and open your laptop to play, right? So basically like I just sit down to work on some projects I would like to do, I would like to work on. So yeah, then it's just like being a normal life. If you have to go with your friend, just go with your friend. And also like I think having some relax is also good for your ideas to come out. So if you have like a thing that you want to work on, maybe you can have it in your mind for a few days, or like for a few, and to think about different things. And I think your brain is interesting, that your brain can think it without your awareness. And then like after that, after a while, maybe you can come up with a really good ideas, or like a crazy idea you can try to verify it will work. And next question is, how does slide div work under the hood? Yeah, that's the big questions. I think the main thing is that slide div is just a wrapper of Vite. So when you open up the slide div, it just fire up a Vite servers, and I just wrote some like plugins and also like a few some UIs to like organize the slides and having some controls of them, which is just like a front end project. But then like also have a parser to parse your markdowns, and also have a plugins which like hook into the server to communicate with the front end and server. So like you can have some like presenter mode, or like you can have some interactive with the server. So I think that's basically the fundamental of it. And yeah, probably just it. So and like in development, it just fire up a Vite developer server, so like you can have HMR. And in build, it used the Vite build mode, which just build your contents and the app I have made for your like build app. For you can host it as an SPA for your slides. So yeah, that's just how it works. And if you really want to like to dive in deep, probably just read the code. How do you get encouraged to quit your previous work and to be full-time open source contributors? Is the transition hard? Well, I didn't. Yeah, I still got full-time jobs at Nox Labs. While I'm being lucky to have the jobs is that working in open source, since Nox is also open source. So even though I'm like working for a company, I'm still working on open source, which is being like really great for me to like things like this is something like I love, right? And also like for me to like being productive to also my work. And yeah, well, I did to have a few months of full-time open source. Is that at that time I'm just graduated from my grad school, so I don't really have a concern to like quit my previous work, since like I don't have one. But I at that time just say okay, and I'm not in hurry to like getting a job. So probably like I just continue working on something I'm kind of enjoying working on. So like I choose to like working full-time on open source and to get some financial feedback from sponsors. And yeah, and then like Nox reached me out, and then like yeah, and then like since their job offer is really fantastic, since like I can get paid as a full-time job while like continue working on open source. So yeah, that's kind of my part. And I think it's really great for the companies to hire that people in open source to continue working on open source, and which is great for the community to like having a sustainable project to continue working on things, and also great for the company to either build the reputations or like having a project that could benefit their product. And for example, for Versero, they have Next.js, they have Rich on the Svelte, and for Netlify they have Ren for the Solid framework, and for Stackbase they have Patak for Vite, which I kind of really like these patterns that since like to working on full-time open source is really hard by your own, since like the sponsorship doesn't really, it's really hard for your sponsorship to cover your like daily expense. But when a company like really hire you to working on it, it will be like a great and stable financial incomes for you to continue working on things while like being the things that you are passionate about. Yeah. Yeah, I'm like really looking forward to like have to see that more companies is doing this, which is really good for the open source community. And next question. What's the first programming language you have ever learned? And what about the very first piece of software you have learned in that language? I think the first language I've learned is ActionScript, which is one for Flash. So that's for me to get into the programming world, I think. And that's some part that we learn like Flash to do some animations. But then if you want to have some buttons or like having some actions, you need to learn how to write the script, which is ActionScript. And then I go to learn the Visual Basic, which is 6.0 at that times. And I think also like for me, Visual Basic is a great tool. Is that you can have the UIs of the you can have an editor of the UI. You can drag the button. You can change the size inside of the editor visually. You don't need to code anything to have at least a window of your apps, and then you use Basic to connect the logic behind each buttons or like each views. Yeah, I think that's the first real language I've learned, and then it goes to C#, and then it goes to Python, and then I think in the college in my freshman year, I would like to build a website, my personal website. So I choose Python to as my backend, which is I'm using Tornado as the web server, I think, and then I use jQuery for my front end to build some app. That's the first time I have learned JavaScript to build some apps, and then like I learned Vue and to make some apps on top of Vue. And yeah, that's the thing for me to like get into. Once I kind of learn the webs and learn JavaScript, I kind of like fall in love with it. So like I stick on it. So until now, yeah. And curious about that, how you learn things and become so cool. And yeah, thank you again. So yeah, I think I have answered it like mostly like from my previous comments. And yeah, basically like my philosophy is that learn by doing, and to learn the things that you enjoy and you are interested. So and do it step by step, and you can achieve something, I think. All right, and so I think that's kind of it. So probably let's just answer a few questions you had in the chat room. Or like if you haven't, you can. I think here you can have some. You can have a link to my Discord server, and there's a live stream channel you can reply to. So if you have any questions, you can reply there, and so I will try to answer them. Or should I refresh it a bit? Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, what's the... Oh, I can zoom in, which is great. All right, what's the current state of Windy CSS? Yeah, to be completely honest, I don't know. Since like I'm not the author of the Windy CSS, and I don't really have enough enough control of it. So yeah, probably like if you want to use, I would recommend to use Uno CSS at this time. And if you are using Windy CSS, I'm also like recommended to migrate to Uno CSS if you could. Yeah. So I don't really know the long-term plan of Windy CSS. Well, like we did plan to replace the engine of it to Uno CSS, but for me, I'm not. I don't have like enough incentive to work on it. So again, like if anyone want to give it a try, yeah, feel free to do so. And okay, for Plum, yeah, Plum is also the thing that I've been using on my website as my background, if you haven't noticed it. Okay, yeah, so you see there's like small one, and I can turn it to black, to white here. So when you refresh the page, it'll be grows a new one here. So yeah, I think you don't really need view to implement it. So yeah, so the idea of it is quite simple. So it's basically like when you, yeah, let me just let me try. So I actually did a live coding for that particular apps in here. So you can go to my Bilibili, which is said in Chinese, but the idea is quite simple. That you grow a branch, and for each branch they have like 2 branches from it, and for the branch you have 50% for the branch to grow, and so there's a chance to for a branch to grow two new branch, and also there's a chance for it to grow only left and only right, or like even none of the new branch. So basically for each new branch you just do a random, and if the random equal to larger than 0.5, you grow a right one, and then you go to the left one. So continue doing that, and once that's all the branches are being rendered to 0, that's not decide to not grow a new branch, the animation stop. So here you can see here I think I will just send here here, and also the I think for also the link here. So you can see that. At this you can read the code. It's quite simple. You don't really need to use view, which is, yeah, for view is only initiate the canvas here. You can totally do it in vanilla, and also of course you can do that in React. So okay, yeah. So well, Windy CSS, I think you are referring to Windy CSS, right? So will Windy CSS be related to Uno CSS, and will they have be alternative to achieve roughly the same thing, or more interoperable? So I think for Uno CSS, it trying to be an unopinionated engines, so that you can create any atomic CSS you would like, and also like it adding more possibility to like customize it. So for example, the preset icons, which allows you to use icons in CSS, which is which is not possible in Windy CSS. So, or if you want to do it, you have to do it in core. So I think that's the main advantage of Uno CSS. And since like each part of the Uno CSS is separate, is in different preset or in different transformers, so you can combine them. You can like you can take what you want and compose them as you want. I think that's the thing. And to change it, it'll be also like easier for it. And okay. And what's the last time you clear all notifications in GitHub? Yeah, I'm trying to clear it in every day, I think. So every day I just open up the notifications. I will try to clear them out of them. So I either read them and reply something, reply it, and I will just remove the notifications until I get a reply of it. And for pull requests, I will try to merge them or like reject them if they are not good enough. Or like for most of the time, I just actually like checking into the branch of the pull request, and I will just make the changes that I would like to suggest and then merge it. So I don't need to have a back forth loops of the like, can you change this? Can you change this? And then like wait a few days and then until they change it, until they made the change that we made the pull request. But instead, I just made the changes and merged the pull request. And I think that's also work for me. And the people could also see my changes as a separate commit. And also, like if you can't want to have like further if you want to have further changes to the changes I have made, you can of course create a new pull request to it. So yeah, the answer is yesterday. Yeah, I haven't starting to work yet for today. Do you have Netflix? Yeah, sadly that you cannot watch. We don't have Netflix in China, and you cannot access them. And yeah, I used to watch Netflix when I'm in Taiwan, which but I don't really watch a lot. But I kind of enjoy watching is that called Robot Death Love or Love Robot Death? Kind of forget it. Yeah, but they have like 3 episodes. No, 3 seasons, right? 3 seasons already, and I think that they are quite interesting. Right, and yeah. Yeah, to join the Discord, just enter this web page, and it will redirect you to the Discord server with an invitation. Right, I think that's it. Or like, do you have any further questions? Let me check the chat rooms in Bilibili, I guess. Where is it? Okay. Oh, I cannot see the history of it. Okay. Yeah, I think that's today. That's stream 2 until 45. So we have like 9 minutes to go. Yeah, and yeah, thank you for like like being here and also like asking questions. I'm kind of like yeah, hopefully that's you find my my answers interesting, or like finding my answers useful. Okay, we got one more. So do you have any advice for beginners to write clean and maintainable code? Yeah, to be honest, I don't. I don't have any advice to it. I think there's like no clear way, or like no trick. There's no easy trick to write clear and maintain code. You have to spend time to write a lot of code to see why this one works in the long terms, or like how you can clear the path in case of the future changes. And yeah, it just take practice. So, and even the most experienced developers, or like cannot say, okay, I made a code that's very clear and that very clean and maintainable. There is this is not absolute. It really depends on how you kind perceive that, and the ideas is changes every as you go, I think. What sort of problem beginners should pick for getting into more open source? Because the beginning open source seems overwhelming. I'm not sure if I read you correctly. What do you mean by that? So I think there's like multiple ways for you to getting into open source. You can either like contributing to code, or like submitting like suggestions, issues, or you can just make changes to the documentations for typos, or like to improve the sentence to be better readable, like, or like adding more explanations to the documentations. So there's multiple ways. You just pick one that you kind more confident about, or like more like interesting about. And yeah, it just take time to like getting familiar with like how open source work. And as you go, yeah, as you like keep contributing, or like keep doing your projects in open source, you kind of learn something like what's the workflows of the things, or like what's the common practice people would do. What's your VS Code extension development workflows? I think I have a template. I think let me search for it. Yeah, this one. It's been a while, I think. I'll just paste it, and I will reply you so you can have the link. Yeah, I don't think there's there's no big difference between like developing VS Code extensions and the node libraries. The only difference is that when you need to test it, you need to run a VS Code to try it, right? So yeah, you can either find it in these templates. There's a like launch.js. So when you open up this project, install the dependencies, you can press F5 to start the extensions. It will VS Code will open up a new VS Code instance, and with your extension installed, so you can just try out. So this code could also be found in the official VS Code. I think it's called VS Code samples. This one. Microsoft VS Code extension samples, which it provides a lot of samples for different APIs to interact with the VS Code. So yeah, definitely you can try out this one. And my template is more about like my opinionated workflows, or like the build tools. I can use what do I use? I use TSUp here for building it, and it'll also like bundle my dependencies, so I don't need to consider I don't need to worry about like shipping the node modules into extensions. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, I'm in travel now, so it's said that I'm the connection of the network. The network connection of the hotel I have been is different. So I think my previous hotel got like much better connections, and I'm kind of like being sorry is that today that I won't be able to. I'm not able to stream on YouTube. I have to use Bilibili for it. Yeah, probably I don't yet have a good solution to solve this. I don't know. I thought I'm kind of like I'm using Restream to like redirect my stream to YouTube. But still, like today, I'm like having some connecting issues to their service. So I don't know what alternative I could find for this. It's hard. Yeah, I'm just traveling around in China, I think. Yeah, currently I'm not. Shanghai is still not really in good situations, so I'm running out of Shanghai. So currently, like in different cities, I'm traveling around. Yeah, I was planning to like traveling around the world, but currently, like I cannot go out of China as this years. So for now, I'm just traveling inside of China. So yeah, as you can see, that my backgrounds are different each time. Yeah, I'm in Shaman, which I should update my polyfill, right? No polyfill. Portfolio. Here, which is this one. Yeah. I'll just change it. Do you mean a girlfriend? What do you mean a girlfriend? Is that your girlfriend or one girlfriend? It sounds like you got multiple girlfriends. All right. That's misleading, actually. Yeah, I'm not always online, actually. Yeah, just you can just don't turn off your computer, so you can always be online. if you want. How many hours you coding each day? That really depends. So when I kind of getting new ideas and got new projects to work on, I could probably like working on like 12 hours a day. And yeah, I probably won't even sleep or like sleep very late. Seems like I'm kind of into the flows of like working on things, and I just cannot stop or like cannot sleep. Even though you're lying on the bed, you're still thinking about it. So why not just get up and just get the things done? But like in usual, I think it's about like 6 to 8 hours. It really depends. Seems like I'm in travel, and it really depends on like what's my day's goals. If I need to change hotel or change the locations, I probably have less time to work on it. And yeah, it's I should call it routines equal to random. Should I say that? Yeah, if you can, it's been quite random. So yeah, it can be a mode if you have to say that. Arranging in in-person meetup. Yeah, I probably won't arrange it then. But yeah, if you yeah, if you happen to be in the same city I have been, yeah, feel free to like reach me out, and so we could maybe like chat and having some coffee. I feel I'm probably talking too much today. Is there any limitations of the chat in Discord? I don't think so, right? there's no limitations. All the history will be kept. I know that Slack have limitations while you don't pay, but I think in Discord you don't have the limitation. Okay, yeah, that's great. So yeah. Oh, and I think if we chat in Discord, there's a advantage is that the chat will be preserved, and people could always scroll in it to see the histories. While that's in YouTube, it'll be kept in different places, and it will probably gone if the video is down, or I don't know. Things you cannot reply to the once the streaming is finished, right? The chat will be ended. Can I? Oh, I cannot use this one. Yeah, I'm disappointed. I cannot have a really big title. Yeah, I think you can use, it's quite limited. Maybe you can only use inline syntax. And as far as I know, there's a no list support. Yeah, it won't be changed as no, as the list. Yeah, that's kind of sad. They should support this. All right, I think that's all for today. And yeah, nice to talk with you. So yeah, let's see you in Discord. And yeah, you can continue chatting on this. So yeah, I will just probably end this streaming, and yeah, see you next time. Bye bye. Here. All right.